Okay, a pleasant day to everyone. Our subject for today is M8, which is Service Emission Control System. Okay, our topic for today is all about the Crankcase Emission Control System. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to first define what is positive crankcase emission control, describe PCV valve, identify the parts of PCV valve, and appreciate the importance of PCV valve in the engine, and explain the PCV valve operation in the engine. Okay, so when we say positive crankcase ventilation system, it is a system that routes unneeded and potentially harmful gases from an engine's crankcase back into the combustion chamber. So, our positive crankcase ventilation system consists of four main components. So, what are the main components or four components of our positive crankcase ventilation system? First is the PCV valve, which is the main component. Next one is the intake manifold. Third is the engine breather hose. And fourth is the air cleaner. So the main purpose of our positive crankcase ventilation system is first to remove the blow-by gases from the crankcase and prevent build-up pressure or preventing the build-up of pressure in our crankcase. Okay, so class, as we know, the movement of the piston inside the engine is a reciprocating motion that is connected to the crankshaft, which the final motion is a rotating motion. So that motion creates and builds pressure inside the crankcase area. So in the illustration occur the line and or that line represents the portion of the engine block and the crankcase area. So because of the movement of the mechanical components of the piston and the crankshaft, it creates and builds pressure on the crankcase area. So the crankcase area includes the crankshaft assembly, and the oil pan. Okay. So as I've said earlier, the reciprocating motion of piston to rotating motion of the crankshaft inside the engine, specifically in the crankcase portion area, it creates or builds pressure. It is not just only builds pressure. Uh, it also have the blow-by gases on the portion. Okay, when we say blow-by gases class, blow-by gases are the unburnt gases of the combustion process. Okay, as we know, the combustion process, or the by burning the gases, we have the four-stroke cycle. So which includes the intake, compression, combustion or power, and exhaust. Okay. So when do blow-by gases occur? So blow-by gases occur on the compression stroke, which is the air fuel mixture. Air and fuel mixture is escaping uh, to the combustion chamber. So from the combustion chamber to the piston rings, to the piston skirt portion, the unburnt fuel gases or the air and fuel mixture escapes to the crankcase portion area, and also in the combustion or explosion or power stroke. So the excessive gases or the blow-by gases also escapes from the internal combustion area or the combustion chamber area to the piston rings and to the side curves of the piston down to crankcase portion area. Okay, so class, as I've explained earlier, on how the pressure and blow by build up on the crankcase portion area, it is not just occur on the crankcase portion area. So the pressure build up from the crankcase portion area also went go up to the uh, engine block, to the cylinder head, and lastly to the valve cover or the valve cover assembly of the engine. Okay, so the PCV valve has the vital role on this matter when the pressure build-ups when the pressure build-up occur. Okay, so class, as I've said and explained earlier, that the build-up only not occur in the crankcase area, and it also goes up in the upper portion of the engine. So this is the illustration, or these are the illustrations of passages where the build-up pressure occurs uh, to the cylinder head part area. So basically, it passes through the oil passages and oil returning passages. Okay, so class, from the crankcase portion area, it passes through the engine block, oil return passages, or engine block oil passages, uh, going through the cylinder head and to the valve train assembly on the upper part of the engine. Okay, so class, specifically, the PCV valve is located at the valve cover portion area, or cylinder head valve cover portion area of the engine. So this is the location of the PCV valve in the engine bay. So basically, it is in the valve cover assembly, and we have the hose, breather hose, or the extension hose to the cylinder intake manifold, sorry. So it is to the intake manifold. So basically, the unburnt gases on the pressure will bypass through this PCV valve and go to our intake manifold to burn again the unburnt gases. So how does the PCV valve operate? So basically, there are three different conditions on how the the PCV valve operates. So first is when the engine is not running, when the engine is in the normal operation, and when the engine is in the high load or acceleration. So basically, when the engine is not running, the PCV valve is always closed. And in the normal operation, the PCV valve is open, so the vacuum passages in the large portion area of the PCV valve, and in PCV valve is fully open in the acceleration of high load driving condition of the engine. So the arrow indicates the tension spring of the PCV valve, and this pintle or the pintle valve area is controlled, or the bypass for our PCV valve. So the PCV valve, as I've said earlier, uh, regulates the blow by or the pressure inside the whole engine. Okay, so class, in short explanation, uh, because of the rotating and reciprocating motion of the engine mechanical parts, and with the unburnt, the blow-by gases or the unburnt gases inside the engine, the pressure is building up and goes to the upper portion of the engine. Okay, so the PCV valve has the vital role for regulating the pressure inside the engine. So the PCV valve operates in different engine running condition. So the pressure from the engine reg from the because of the pressure of the engine, the PCV valve regulates it, and the PCV valve, the excessive pressure and air goes to the bypass hose to intake manifold to burn the unburnt and blow-by gases. So basically, this is the basic and short explanation for the PCV valve operation and the engine.